to you, everyone. My name is Chenjeraj Baya from the African Union Commission. I'm going to give you some opening remarks for the director who unfortunately was unable to travel with us. Mr. Patrick Otlangole, the Acting Commissioner, External Trade, Minister of Industry and Cooperatives, senior government officials and development partners here present, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure to be with you in Entebbe today for the validation workshop convened to deliberate on the report of education services in Uganda. First of all, on behalf of the African Union Commission, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the government and people of Uganda for hosting this workshop. I also wish to take this opportunity to express our gratitude to the Uganda government for the excellent partnerships and unreserved support in conducting the study on education services in this country and in co-hosting today's validation workshop. Without your coordination role, the Commission's work on education services in Uganda would have been extremely difficult. Allow me, distinguished participants, to convey to you greetings and warm regards from Her Excellency Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, and from Her Excellency Mrs. Fatima Haram Asil, Commissioner for the Department of Trade and Industry at the African Union Commission, who are both looking forward to the successful holding of this workshop and its outcome. This study and validation workshop has been undertaken with the support of USAID, to which we continue to express our gratitude for their commitment to promote Africa's trade and regional integration agenda. At this juncture, I wish to recognize the presence of Mr. Glenn Rogers, who is seated with us here. Our partner from USAID, who traveled with us from Addis Ababa to participate in this important workshop. Special thanks go to you, distinguished participants, for sparing some time from your very busy schedules to respond to questionnaires and contributed valuable information that led to the compilation of the report of study which you will consider later today. Your commitment is evident in your participation here today, and let me thank you for all these efforts. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, traditionally, the overall focus on trade was on goods and traditional services like financial, telecommunication, transport and tourism services, amongst others. Today, the service sector contributes an average of 47% of developing countries' GDP, and services contributed 45.5% in Uganda in 2012. And some countries worldwide have explored the potential in non-traditional service exports like education. Uganda's experience in exporting education services in East Africa and beyond is a case in point. As reported in the study, the education sector in this country is the 6th biggest sector, with 5.3% contribution to GDP. Ladies and gentlemen, the African Union Heads of State and Government, during the 18th ordinary session of their assembly, held in January 2012 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, took a decision to establish the Continental Free Trade Area, commonly referred to as the CFTA, by an indicative date of 2017. And this was reiterated during the 22nd ordinary session held in January 2014. The African Union Ministers of Trade, during their extraordinary conference held in April 2014 in Addis Ababa, also indicated that services ought to be part to the CFTA negotiations. This will provide the continental framework for trade in services, creating a continental market for services, and fostering the development of the services sector. Hence, services providers in Uganda need to prepare to explore the opportunities to export services within Africa that will come with the CFTA. Furthermore, the Department of Human Resources, Science and Technology and the African Union Commission are working on the harmonization of educational services in Africa, which will be an important contribution to regional integration and the movement of professionals in this sector. Unfortunately, our colleague could not make it yesterday. We expect him to arrive today, a representative from the Science and Technology Department of the African Union Commission. So, as trade and industry, we value partnerships across sectors in order to bring opportunities to enhance trade and integration across the continent. Going forward, we will work towards the development of a comprehensive strategy on trade and services for consideration by the policy organs at the African Union. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, innovations in information and communication technologies are providing alternate and virtual ways to deliver services and, in particular, education. New types of providers, such as corporate universities, for-profit institutions, and media companies are emerging. This scenario is changing further by providers, public and private, new and traditional, delivering education services across national borders to meet the need in other countries. Alternative type of cross-border program delivery, such as branch campuses, franchise, and twinning arrangements are being developed. Uganda is taking advantage of this dynamic. And for your own information, Her Excellency Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, Chairperson of the African Commission, recently signed an agreement with the University of South Africa, UNISA. This is in line with the promotion of the aims and objectives of Agenda 2063. The demand for higher and adult education, especially professional-related courses and non-traditional delivery modes, is increasing in most countries. This is due to the growth of the knowledge economy, movement to lifelong learning, and changing demographics. While demand is growing, the capacity of the public sector to satisfy the demand is being challenged. The ability to import these services creates a win-win for all and potential for many developing countries to tap in. The report on education services in Uganda is part of a series of studies in select African Union member states to highlight success stories and lessons learned in services exports in Africa. The education sector in Uganda has been identified as one of the case studies because of the industry's success in becoming a leading exporter of education services on the continent. This report showcases the potential of the education services exports, identifies the role of government in the success of the sector, and lays out some best practices other African countries can learn in order to promote education services as a key service export. With support from USAID and other partners, we look forward to publishing these case studies. Some of the case studies that were held were from Burkina Faso, Ethiopia. We have here one in Uganda, Senegal, and Nigeria, just to mention some. This will be our contribution towards giving visibility to your collective efforts as government officials, private sector, and civil society partners, especially amongst policymakers in all African Union member states and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, allow me to point out that I have strong conviction that the expertise gathered here today will be able to examine this report and improve on it so that it can be used as a referral document by other African Union member states. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your kind attention, and I wish you fruitful deliberations.